I survived a match with Andre the Giant. He took me up in a big vertical suplex, and not only was I scared to death, I mean, my toes curled up inside my boots. But when we got down there, I learned gravity is real. And how many of those can you take? I was at somebody's house, and they were watching television. They were clicking through the channels, and I said, whoa, there's Tony Little, and look what he's doing. And when I saw that machine, the first thing that I looked at is, number one, low impact. It's gentle on the joints. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because no matter how often you use it, you want to use it more. You get addicted to it, really. And if I can possibly be an inspiration to others the way Tony Little has been an inspiration to me, get on the phone, get your Gazelle.
Happy Sunday, everyone. November continues to roll along, and we are back with another classic Survivor Series tonight, 1989. This one's kind of fun. The main event is interesting. Hulk Hogan's got a hell of a team here. This is still in the early days of the Elimination Survivor Series pay-per-views. We haven't talked about this one very often. I did a review on Survivor Series 89, I would say maybe 2 years ago, maybe even 3. I think it was 3 because I was back at my old place. So a review of this show exists on my channel, but we've never watched it together. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. I hope all of you, those who watched it, enjoyed Full Gear last night. Looked to be a hell of a show. I still haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen good portions of it, especially the main event, the Swerve and Hangman match. Couple of other things. Last night looked like a completely bonkers show. Really bummed I couldn't be there in person at the LA Forum, but duty called here at home. I needed to be working, so I had to miss all of that, but it certainly looked like AEW once again came through with another terrific pay-per-view, even though some of that storyline stuff going into the MJF injury and coming back in the ambulance was a little bit, a little bit head-scratching and a little weird in the booking there. Overall, the show was still spectacular from what I can understand and what I can ascertain from all of you guys who were there and who watched it. So we're going to be getting into that more tomorrow. Tomorrow night, big podcast planned after Raw. We're going to review Monday Night Raw. It's the go-home show to Survivor Series. A lot of stuff might be happening tomorrow, including maybe a return and a 5th member being announced for the Babyfaces, because I don't think they have solidified that yet. Plus, we'll get into my recap, my thoughts, my opinions on last night's Full Gear, and we'll kind of cover all of that on the Winged Eagle podcast tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw goes off the air. So just keep that in mind. But today, we're kicking back. It's our typical Sunday here. I got a cold one open. I'm happy to be off. It's been a hellacious week for me at work. So this is going to be fun to kind of kick back, hang with you guys, and watch Survivor Series 89, Team Hogan versus Team Zeus. I don't even think it's Team Zeus. I think it's Team $1 Million Man, and Zeus is on the team. And I know Randy Savage is captaining a team as well. I kind of forget what else is on this card. No title matches or anything like that, but it should be pretty fun to take a look back at this one again on a Sunday. Just a little programming note for you. Next Sunday, I'm booked again. I got to be at my sister's house for another family gathering, so there will be no watch along next Thursday, which is next Sunday, which is after Thanksgiving. But since December kind of sucks, there's no other real great pay-per-views to watch. We've watched a lot of the Armageddons. I hated all of the TLCs. We'll probably keep Survivor Series rolling a couple of weeks into December, since we really have only done 2 of them this month. We were doing 89 tonight, and we did 1992 last week. So we'll pick things up 2 more weeks from today with another Survivor Series in a couple of weeks. Let me cruise to the chat here before we get started. By the way, you guys can head on over to your Peacock. You know what to do. Go to Survivor Series tab on Peacock. You want to find Season 3, Episode 1, Survivor Series 1989. The runtime on this, according to Peacock, is 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 36 seconds. So you guys know the drill. Just a couple of minutes from now, we'll all hit play together. Timer below me will begin to run. That way, if you experience ads and all that stuff on Peacock, you can just catch back up, sync your timer up to ours, and everything will be all hunky-dory there. While you guys are doing that, let me cruise to the chat, say hello to everyone, and make sure that my audio can be heard. There we go. I can see myself and hear myself. We're good on this side. Good to see channel members like Tatanani. I know. What's up with the Lions, man? 8-2. 8-2. Holy shit. Feels like 1991 up in here. Tatanani, thanks for being here. We have Brandon Barnes and the Juliet and George Morris rounding out some early channel members. George, as always, thank you for the $5, bruv. Hey, Greg, how you doing? And how is Tito? Survivor Series 89, 10 out of 10. What about the drunk guy outside your house? I ordered classic N64 controller online. I love your super chats because there's such a hodgepodge of information. Tito is always great. He's somewhere. He's sleeping right back there on the couch, or he's awake. You might see him pop in during the stream. Yeah, there was a drunk guy outside my house. Dude, drunk driver hit a tree, spun out a few nights ago. I watched from my bathroom window as he miserably failed a sobriety test. He was screaming and yelling and cursing, "My mom's going to sue you," and, throwing out, sexual slurs and just a horrible fucking meltdown right here in the street behind me. Pretty fun stuff. I hope he's still in jail. N64, I never played, never got past Super Nintendo. That's as far as I went for video games and haven't played a video game since. So good for you, George. Thanks as always for being here. And I'm glad that you think this pay-per-view is a 10 out of 10. I want to welcome Garrett Osborne, another channel member as well. And we have Alan Carter, more channel members, and Spaz Phoenix, who's been here now for 15, count 'em, months. That's a long time. OG JJ Lay, you've been with me about just as long. And Spaz is chiming in with 10 more here. People across Canada. who have Rogers Cable and tried to order the pay-per-view, got a basketball feed instead. Rogers Cable, what the fuck are y'all watching up there? And service was slow to fix it and even slower with refunds. My Twitter feed was full of it. That sucks. That really sucks, especially if there's a cable issue or cable TV issue, something that's out of the hands of, AEW or WWE whenever they're running a show and it fucks you up. That's got to be frustrating. Hopefully, they do issue refunds for that. I wasn't aware of that issue last night. That sucks. But, at least it happened to Canada and not the U.S. You know what I mean, Spaz? I'm just kidding. I feel terrible for y'all if that happened. I've been very lucky with that stuff. I've never been knocked off of a pay-per-view feed or anything like that. Even back at Halloween Havoc 98, I saw Goldberg and DDP. It didn't cut off for me. So I didn't have any of those issues. Sorry to hear that America's Hat dealt with some of that last night. We Are Pro Wrestling is in the house as well. Warrior Heenan family main event. Warriors test as a main eventer. Yeah, I guess it probably was. And I do remember this. This was We Are Pro Wrestling. Tully got fired, I think, and Bobby Heenan filled in for him. And then to Arn Anderson, I think this was his last night in the company as well, and he headed back to WCW, if I remember this correctly. No, I don't think I do. Maybe it was the next year. Was it the next year they were out of there in 1990, or was it 89? No, I guess it was 89. So the Busters weren't in for very long, I guess, were they? But yeah, this is going to be the end of the line for them, I believe. Zach Palgett, my guy, is in here as well. Trying to hit these channel members. Spaz Phoenix has got 5 more for me. Thank you so much, dude. Also, come on over to my part of the internet for NXT Rewind, looking at TakeOver Brooklyn 1 and a preview of 20-ish scary movies coming next year. You mean all new movies in one, all next year? All 20 of them? Scary? That's crazy. That's crazy, Spaz. Victor Colon, Michael Cuomo, always good to see you guys as well. Garrett, I think I got you. Non-channel members, good to see Ray Fran, Daniel Clark, Tony, Konami Karan, thank you so much, my friend. Daniel Clark, Johnny Woodmass is in the house as well. We have Dave Sims, I see. We got Matt Karcher. Thank you for being here. Mike Rouse, Ben Espinoza. We have We Are Pro Wrestling. I know I got you, and I might have some questions for you. Angie Law is here too. Always happy to see Angie. Anybody else that I may have missed, I apologize, but we should probably start watching some wrestling instead of watching Greg's mouth move, because wrestling's probably more fun, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? As always, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button here before we hit play together. I know everybody here in this chat is a subscriber. In case you're not, hit that subscribe button. We are getting real close to 40,000 on the channel. I'd say 70-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood, away from hitting that milestone. We will in just a couple of weeks. It's slow going. We had a great year, and then everything kind of screeched to a halt right at the end of the summer, but we're still going to make 40K here probably in just a few days. So if you're not a subscriber, please do that for me. I would appreciate it. And if you are ready with your fingers, I think it's time to hit play on Survivor Series 1989. Let me just get my fingers ready, take a little sip of my cold one, and we will be ready to rock. Okay, like I said, Season 3, Episode 1 on Peacock. Runtime is 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 36 seconds. We'll do a countdown from 3, and we'll hit play together, and we will be ready to rock and roll. Let me just get my hand on the timer. There it is. Where is it? All right, there we go. Timer, play button. I'm ready to rock. Are y'all? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Perfecto. All right, we're kicking it off with Hulk Hogan. Hogan. Still. Well, $1 Million Man, he's thankful because he's rich and we're not. Well, some of the people watching might have been rich. Everybody's thankful. Look at Sherry. Oh, yeah. These are fast. All right, we're just going to get everybody saying what they're thankful for, and it's just one thing each. What you thankful for, Dusty? For my polka dots. He loves them. They had everybody come in and do this. They had them lined up and just, okay, Rick Martel, you're next. Come on in. How many of you are thankful for steroids? That's what I want to know. Hi, Roddy. Hey, Lanny. Whose team is Perfect on? Oh, he's facing, he's on Rude's Brood. I do remember Rude's Brood against Piper's family, because Piper's crew, because Piper and Snook on the same team was wild to me. I'm like, do you guys not remember what you did? Look at that hair. Just shit over finally. Okay, good. Oh, this is still happening on Thanksgiving night, huh? I thought it might have moved to Thanksgiving Eve by now. Good to see Ramon Coffee up in here too. Comments from me, welcome. The Ultimate Warriors versus Heenan's family. Okay, so Rude's got a pretty solid team here. He's got Perfect and the Rougeaus. Piper's team's weak sauce. Bushwhackers and Snuka were just mid-card jobber level by that point. Oh yeah, that's when they split up the Hart Foundation the first time. The 4x4s versus the King's Court. Dusty Road, because that's when he stole the hat and everything. That was great. Red Rooster. Dream Team. That's an interesting crew there. Hogan's team's probably my favorite Survivor Series team of all time. Like, seriously. Like Hogan, Jake, and Demolition. That's a team right there. That was my thumbnail for this. Those four look very awesome together, I thought. And as a kid, as a 12-year-old, I marked out for it because it was so cool to me. Hogan and Jake and Demolition. Oh, wow. Rosemont Horizon. Check that out. Home of WrestleMania 13, 22, 2. I've been to Plymouth Rock before. It's like this, big rock. It's made out of like other stuff rocks are made out of. Jesse is... Yeah, let's go to the Fink. Let's just kick things off here. The hell with it. What are we waiting for here? Daniel, crowd is Chicago's overdue for a stadium WrestleMania. I can't believe they're going to Philly, and I can't believe they've done MetLife already. So I used to think that there's no way Chicago's going to get one, but it's too fucking cold there that time of year. But you never know. These cities want WrestleManias. Build a fucking roof on your football stadiums. That's all you got to do, and you'll get one. You got a roof, you get a WrestleMania. That's the rule. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they won't. I love Jive Soul Bro. I still listen to it, and I still sing it. I'm a Jive Soul Bro. A Jive Soul Bro, and you never get nothing in the end or something. I don't know what the lyrics are. I love Slick. Slick is so special to me. His picture, you can't see it, but you can kind of see it. It's right. Wait, I can't do my finger. It's right. I can't do it. Up there. That's it. So what's interesting about this is I see Bad News Brown out there. Bad News has had other Survivor Series matches before and it has not gone well. So I think he might not be able to get along with these guys either. Hmm. Well, at least they're all coming out to Beefcake's music. I like how they all came out to Jive Soul Bro. That was great. And here comes the captain. He's just a common man who works hard with his hands. What's up, Boo Kaki? What's up, Abu Sika? Thank you for the $2. Boo Kaki, back to you too. I don't know. Reba makes me think of Aretha Franklin singing "America the Beautiful" at WrestleMania 8. It's not Aretha. Get out of the building. You have to leave the building if you're eliminated? That sucks. Can I take a shower first? All right. I think it's going to be Tito, it looks like. Nope, it's going to be... Yeah, it is going to be Tito. Tito and Martel? Or Tito and Honky? Yeah. I'm trying to count the IC titles in this match. I think only 2. I think Tito and Honky are your only former Intercontinental Champions in there. Huh. They're saying that Tito held it longer than anyone else when he's in the ring with the Honky Tonk Man, who is the longest running. So even back then, they weren't acknowledging Honky's run as the longest. Tito's run was broken up a little bit. Tito was the first guy to hold the classic IC. He had the green one and it got destroyed, and then they presented him at MSG with like the new Intercontinental title. I think Mean Gene gave it to him or something. And then Savage beat him for it. I love Brutus's tights, his fishnets. Sexy, sexy stuff. Don't act like you're not turned on. You are. I know you. I know you, future endeavored. Cannot deny Brutus's sexiness. Former Strike Force going at it. Broke up at WrestleMania earlier on in the year. Martel is a model now. Nice dropkick. Model was so good. Is that a Montreal thing, that little thing? Because remember Rene Dupree used to do the same thing? Weren't the La Resistance guys from Quebec or something? And he used to do that too, that little bouncing back and forth thing that Model liked to do. Who's a ref in there? I think that's Mike Chioda. I didn't see who's on the outside. I didn't catch up. Shane McMahon might be one of these guys tonight. I know he was starting to appear around this time. The short end of the money. Look how young. I'm pretty sure that is Chioda. Look how freaking young he is. He looks like he's 11. Looks like he's a sophomore in high school. And that is, and look, check it out. That is Shane McMahon out there. That is Shane. Oh, here we go. Bossman had already started here, but Bossman was about to begin his rapid weight loss. And he got really lean. He'd already dropped a lot here compared to the previous year, but he's even still pretty big here. He'd probably shed another 50 pounds. Oh, wow. I think Dusty, he really helped discover Ray Traylor, if I remember right. He kind of helped get him his start. Hit him, hit him, hit him. And we got no eliminations yet. Honky and Brutus, man, they had quite the rivalry the previous year. Not so much now. Rude eye. He's pretty, he's handsome, but he's dangerous. That's funny, Jesse. Rest in peace to Rosalind Carter. She was the first lady when I was born. Passed away today, 96 years old. Jimmy Carter's also pretty close to the end as well. Jeez, what a bump. No tag to bad news yet. Bad news seems to be getting along with everybody just fine so far, but something tells me that's not going to last. Yeah, Survivor Series 1990. We could do that one, Tatanani. I think I've at least done a review of that. I got to remember if we've done a watch along of that already or it was a review. But we've also we did 92, we've done 89. We might want to do something a little later, but it's going to be 2 weeks from now. Next Sunday, we will not be here for a watch along because I have another family engagement. We'll be back in 2 weeks for that. Tomorrow's link for the podcast is up after Raw. And Saturday, Survivor Series Day, we're going to watch the whole thing together. We're going to do a watch along on Saturday of Survivor Series since I'm not going to be here next Sunday to do a classic watch along. So I figured we'd watch Survivor Series together on Saturday. And then I will have a predictions video up as well, I think on Friday. But that link is not up yet. It will be. Yes, he is. Nope, not yet. We haven't done a lot of Survivor Series. I see Survivor Series 01 we watched. Kind of scrolling through. 98 we've watched. Might be a pin here on Honky, not quite. 92, of course. We haven't done a lot. Oh, Survivor Series 96. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, no, that was 2 years ago. That was the one the stream shut off, but I finished it the next day. Yeah, we haven't done a ton of Survivor Series, so we have a lot to do here if we want to do them. I don't know why we haven't been able to squeeze too many of them in. Probably because November is a crazy month with holidays and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of Survivor Series we have not gotten to yet, so we should be watching some more. We'll find one. We'll find a good one. I do like 03. Oh, we've done Survivor Series 2002 as well. Nice dropper. We'll do a Starcade this year for sure. We've done Starcades in recent years. We'll get one of those done in December. Oh, wow. Martel's all over the place here. Wow. Oh, no. Nice. Model missing the elbow. Mm-mm. All the way back. Oh, and he got Chico. Martel pins Santana. I don't love Survivor Series 94, Ramon. No, unfortunately, no. The 91 would be good, Juliet. With the Hogan and Taker match, that could be good. Starcade 1883. Holy shit, Tatanani. He's going way back. He's trying to go back 140 years here. All right, that's what you want. Somebody look up Starcade 1883. Who was the main event in that one? There's Sapphire. I think that's her first, one of her first appearances. She had been sitting at ringside on TV, leading to their pairing. I think George Hackenschmidt was just a tiny little baby in 1883, so I'm not sure if he would be ready for a main event as a toddler or not. Back then, who knows what the rules were, you know? Might have been totally fine. Starcade 1993, though, we have done. But 1983, we have not. That one might be a little too old school for some of these people, for our audience. Look at Terry slapping around the model. Let's eliminate Funk here, or not Funk, Taylor. Mm. Mm. The previous year, Big Boss Man and the Red Rooster were teammates. Got to get out of there, Rooster. Starcade 95. Who would have been the main event in that? I think they should just eliminate Rooster. He's dead in this bear hug here. It's a Survivor Series. If there's one time where you could have a fall with a bear hug, this would be it. Nope, he's up. He's fighting. Babyface comes back. Only babyfaces can do this, by the way. I want to see Bad News get in there. There we go. At the next year's SummerSlam and SummerSlam 90, Boss Man would be the referee in a match between Bad News and Jake. Yeah, Bad News getting taken out by the Red Rooster. Oh, yeah. When I was young, I always thought Bad News is, kind of punch and his strikes look good because he'd kind of really wind back and he'd just come in with a lot of force. They just look really good for the time. Nothing too special now, but like I remember seeing him back then thinking that he was really laying them in. They're just grinding his elbow right now. Yeah, love that. Love that stuff. Love Bad News. Did everyone ever Did anyone ever succumb to a bear hug? Sure. There's been lots of bear hug submissions. What was the match that got David Sammartino fired? Maybe it was either a torture rack or it might have been a bear hug. And he got picked up in a bear hug and just immediately submitted and basically quit the company right there in the middle of the match. Pretty funny. But there's been legitimate bear hugs too. Andre put Hogan in a bear hug for about 35 minutes at WrestleMania 3. I remember how long that was taking. And as a kid, it felt like 30 minutes went by. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Boss Man accidentally hits Bad News. That is going to be what does it. You hit me, man. This has always been a pet peeve of mine in wrestling. This has been happening for 50 years plus. You get accidentally hit in the ring by a totally unintentional blow and they completely lose their cool. You would think that a wrestling veteran of Bad News' experience would understand that sometimes in a team atmosphere, when there's 9 guys in the ring, you might catch a potato from some friendly fire from one of your own guys. And the fact that they have such little patience for that, that they always flip out and lose their shit. Same thing in tag team matches or whatever. They get all mad. I'm like, bro, it's all right, man. It's all good. Shit happens. You might expect that from a rookie or an inexperienced dumbass, but not a veteran who knows how to play the game, And he's been counted out again, 2nd year in a row. Bad News has had more no decisions. I can think of 4 right off the top of my head. Both Survivor Series matches, I think he just intentionally counted himself out. At WrestleMania 6, when Piper painted himself half black, that was like a double DQ. The match I referenced earlier with Jake, with Boss Man as a referee at SummerSlam the following year, was also a DQ or something. He always found ways out of not losing to anybody that wasn't a top guy. Hogan beat him. Savage beat him. Nobody else beat him. Stay on him, baby. Stay on him. Twist and shout tights. Wow, it's Robert, almost 34 years since Survivor Series 89. Yep, I had just turned 12. I don't even remember what I got for my birthday that year. I need. That's going to be it for Honky. Finally, Brutus Beefcake beats the Honky Tonk Man. I didn't think it would ever happen there. Too bad that didn't happen a year and a half ago. You'd be Intercontinental Champion. Beefcake's like, I've been waiting 2 years for that win. Yeah, I probably got some Nintendo games for my birthday. I wouldn't be surprised. Looking up at my shelf there, I wouldn't be surprised if I got like Skate or Die that year. Or Double Dragon. Well, I probably already had Double Dragon. Maybe Paperboy. Maybe Super Mario 3. I don't think it was out yet. Contra, perhaps. Something like that. And we got Ricky Martel choking out Beefer. Look at how sweaty Big Boss Man is. Jesus. It's got to be so hot. You're a big fella anyway, who's just going to naturally sweat more. And then they put you in like full long pants and like a button down shirt. What a rib. Jesse said Gorilla's paranoid for some reason. Not sure why. Gorilla Monsoon never came off to me as the paranoid type. I have a whole box full of Atari games from 2600. Whole ass box full of them. And if I just turn the camera a little bit this way, you can see my Nintendo games. See right here? Right up there in the area there. There they are. There's a bunch up there. Yeah, the baby faces are kind of back in control here because they've only lost one man in Tito. Heels are down two now with Bad News running away and Honky losing. So it's Ricky Martel and the Boss Man against the Rooster, the Barber, and the Dream. The Cockade. Oh, that's going to be a pin. Yep. You can always tell in Survivor Series when they're going to get the pin. It's hard to explain, but you can just know. So the Boss Man is down by himself. Is he actually going to take a loss here, or is he going to hightail it out of here and just let the... I feel like Boss Man should get rid of at least Rooster here. At least look a little strong in the loss. Like, you can't have Rooster survive. Come on. Okay, Boss Man is going to hit him with a sidewalk slam here, I bet. Watch. One more. Oh. One more. One more. Boom. You could see that coming 20 miles away. Look at Slick. I don't know if Boss Man's going to eliminate Beefcake, though. He might. There we go. Dusty's in. So it's 2-on-1. It's Beefcake and Dusty against the Big Boss Man. Oh, another knee. Everything. Oh, God. Everything they've done since Rooster's elimination has been super sloppy. They got to get it together here. Get where you need to be. I cross. Yep. I feel like that could be it. It is. Look at this no sell. He's up with a billy club already. Boom. Nightstick. Oh, wow. Oh, no, they're going to put the cuffs on him and everything. Oh, please. Ha ha. Jesse loves violence on a day of thanks. It's his favorite. I didn't know they have this whole nobody comes out and makes a save here. Nobody. Here's Beefcake's got Jesus. He's got hedge clippers. He can chop off your cock or just stab you in the throat. Either way, it ain't gonna be a good day for you. That's what you deserve, boy. Nails was the baby face, if you ask me. Boss Man probably was abusive. Think about that. He's such an asshole right here. Seems totally plausible that he would be abusing prisoners as a correction officer in Cobb County, Georgia. Nails is still in jail, waiting to get out. He'll be out in about 3 years, and he's coming right for that sack of abusive shit in Ray Traylor. Nails was right. I don't know the lyrics to Dusty's song. Does it say redneck monkey? Is that what it says? The fuck does that mean? A little hillbilly orangutan running around with a mullet and a Mountain Dew shirt? Trump flag under truck? Little monkey truck? This must be a Coliseum video exclusive. And if you look in the background in the aisleway, you see Pat Patterson and Rene Goulet, I think, stalling the baby faces coming back because these guys are cutting their promo. That's kind of cool. See, look, Dustin, look at Pat. You can see him right behind Slick. He's kind of looking in the green jacket. I think the faces are selling in the aisleway, and they're just waiting for the green light to go back there until the promo's done. That'd be one thing if you could. Oh, look at these guys. Yeah, baby. I want to join the 4x4s. I want one. I want a 2x4. The 2x4s, 4x4s. Wouldn't it be at 8x16s then? I guess that would be reduced to 2x4s. Or 1/2. I don't know. I'm lost. I can't do math. A 4x4s already. Look at rugged Ronnie Garvin. I kind of like this team, though. This is all just hard-nosed, stiff brawlers and Brett. Ronnie could wrestle a bit, but he was more rugged than he was technical. Brett's the only wrestler of the group here. Duggan and Hercules together is a pretty fun pairing. They have pre-WWE history together. Oh, they got me right in the heart. What a promo. That's like one of my favorite things I've ever seen. I think if you look up my Survivor Series 89 review, I think that might have been my thumbnail. Oh, wow. Here we go. Oh, and it's time. The Macho King. I think Macho King got the King gimmick over better than anybody else. When he won the crown, transitioning from Macho Man to Macho King was actually really well done. Even after he had been the King and he came back as the Macho Man, I still knew people who were calling him the Macho King. What a team here. We got Greg Valentine. We got the Dream Team reunited, the new Dream Team reunited between Valentine and the Canadian Strongman, Dino Bravo. And we have Earthquake. We have the luscious Sherry Martel and the equally luscious Jimmy Hart. All right, we got some WrestleMania 4 opponents here. Randy Savage fought Greg Valentine at WrestleMania 4. And Earthquake faced... He might have faced Valentine at WrestleMania 7? Was it Earthquake and Valentine at 7? I think it was. Look at these guys bouncing around. Earthquake would wrestle Hercules at WrestleMania 6. Dino Bravo would wrestle Ronnie Garvin at WrestleMania 5. Bret Hart would wrestle Greg Valentine at WrestleMania 5. I've got way too much useless information in my head. They run in the ring with boards. Previous year, Macho Man and Herc were teammates on the babyface side. Now they're on opposing sides. Oh, Savage or Duggan dropped his. All right, they tried to do a little synchronized 2x4 juggle there, but I don't think it was pulled off very well. Hercules, I believe, I think he was on the opposite side of Savage in the first Survivor Series. So this should be the third straight Survivor Series that Hercules and Savage have worked together as opponents or partners. More trivia. Good mic work. Referee Danny Davis in there with the two people that he helped win the championship, Randy Savage and Bret Hart. Let's see what else. What other history can we find in here? Duggan coming after Savage. I'll never forget being like a 12-year-old kid looking in the WWF magazine when they showed the match between Macho and Duggan, where Macho Man won the crown. And there's like a shot of Sherry where she like bends over to pick up Duggan's legs, like in a slingshot position, and her fucking tits are just out. And I remember being a kid going back and looking at that page a lot. I was 11. Leave me alone. Oh. I don't know why they all didn't come out to Brett's music. Comments from me, very good point. Hercules should have been against Zeus's team. Why didn't they do that? I love how they kind of scaled it down to 4 guys, too, instead of 5, so they had enough talent to go around. And by the way, hello, Alan Carter. Not sure if I shouted you out earlier. I might have. I forget a lot. We Are Pro Wrestling. Thank you for that tidbit, too. Earthquake is replacing Barry Windham here, the Widowmaker, who I think just decided to leave WWE. They brought him in twice and repackaged him twice as the Widowmaker and as the Stalker. Both times he could have just fucking came in as Barry Windham and everything would have been fine. But no. He'd be back 4 years later. No, I'm sorry. 7 years later at Survivor Series 96 as the Stalker. These guys are embroiled in a pretty deep feud right now, Valentine and Garvin. Garvin be on the verge of becoming a referee here soon. Yeah, you didn't have no internet or nothing to really else to look at there. So if you ever found a pretty hot picture, you kind of saved that when you were a kid. That's the way it was back in the early days. Dino and Herc. There's some tough hombres in there too. I would not want to mix it up in a fight with Hercules or Dino or Hacksaw or Savage or Garvin or Brett. I think the only one in the ring that I could beat up would be probably Earthquake. I could probably take him. I'd just slam him and it'll be over. Oh, he's going to get taken out here. Whoa! Earthquake nearly went through those ropes. And these two guys would be wrestling at WrestleMania 6. Earthquake had just come in. He must have just been there. Because I remember when he debuted, they pulled him out of the crowd. That must have been like the previous month or something. Come on, Earthquake. Brett looks like he's ready to come in and help out. Yep. Boom, right over. There you go, Brett. Brett's so smooth. Brett, it's like this match is pretty funny because you have Brett and Savage, two just beautiful workers, my number one and number two favorite of all time. And then everybody else is just a brawling, clunky mess. You got no finesse in there other than Brett and Savage. Valentine has ability, but he's still pretty hard nosed, you know? And nothing that he does is overly beautiful looking. It's just effective. Where Savage and Brett, they're in a class by themselves in this match. Holy shit, we are pro wrestling November 11th. So yeah, 2 weeks. So that's interesting that Tully and Barry Windham both bounced. Already got the shin guard turned. Oh, he's going to get him here. Nope, he's not. And he does. Does he tag? Tag, motherfucker. Garvin, what the F, dude? He was right there. There's Savage. Wow, this is kind of cool. I can't recall too many times Randy Savage and Ronnie Garvin have been in the ring together. This is one of the only times. Unless a path had crossed in like 84 or something, but I don't think so. Scary Sherry. She's sensational, gorilla. Get it right. Tully and Arn went back to WCW right after this. Tully might not have. He might have just been flat fired. Arn went back. So Tully might not have gone back. It might have just been Arn. I think Tully had some drug issues. They are chopping the shit out of each other. This is Minoru Suzuki level shit here. Uh-oh. Oh, good. That's got to be it. I actually like that. Duggan's, 3-point stance clothesline move. Do that to somebody after your partner throws them into the ropes. All right, Dino pulling out the karate chop here. Hiya. Okay, so yeah, I was about to say maybe in the mid 80s. Middle America, somewhere in there. And the Memphis and ICW stuff. There might have been a meeting. But it wasn't something you saw often on TV, that's for sure. Watching the sweat fly on those forearm smashes is just something else. I think Doug in his career falls victim to Earthquake and Yoko. I think like Earthquake gets him one time, probably the next year, and squashes him with his Earthquake smushes. And then I know Yoko, Bonsai drops the piss out of Duggan as well when he comes in. That is awesome. You saw Brainbusters and Demolition at a house show? That's awesome. I was so mad when the Busters beat Demolition. I was so mad. The Garvin Stomp. Oh, he's going for the sharpshooter. This is crazy that Garvin is using Brett's move before it was Brett's move. This is so crazy to me. Because during Brett's first singles run, that wasn't his finisher yet. He didn't do that till the second time around. Oh, here we go. Whew. This is what I want to see. Bret Hart and Randy Savage, 1 and 2 in Greg's life. No way. Oh, love it. Inverter. Come on, Bret. Oh. Well, we got a little taste there. A little taste of Bret and Savage. Dino and Bret were working a lot in '89. They worked some house shows. That's definitely a pin. Dino with a big sidewalk slam and a little Kama Sutra position for the pin there. That was nice. Look at how happy those guys are. Okay, thank you for that, Victor. I knew that Tully, I don't remember seeing him on WCW after 1989, so I guess something fell through when he got there. Back in these days, too, before the pay-per-views, Survivor Series and SummerSlam, WWE would usually run like 1 or 2 hour specials the week before on like the USA Network with a bunch of fun matches like Survivor Series Showdown and SummerSlam Spectacular, shit like that. They would do it all the time. And leading up to this show on the Survivor Series Showdown the previous week, Tully worked one-on-one with Warrior, and Warrior just demolished him. And that was, I think, Tully's last match. It was probably taped several weeks before. I love this. Bret and Savage again. Oh, come on, Duggan. Don't take this away from me, man. It's all I got. Bret and Savage. Love it. It's kicked by Bret. You in the wrong corner, Macho King. Oh, there we go. Bret's got him down. Something tells me Bret's going to get pinned soon, and I don't want to watch that happen. I think I lose a year of my life every time I visually watch Bret Hart take a pin. That's why I'm not too fond of it. A little of me dies inside. You know, Danny Davis and Bret. God, you guys were teammates not 2 years ago. I mean, Danny Davis was on a Survivor Series team 1 year ago, and now he's the referee. What the F's going on? He might even have some teammates in the ring. He does. I think he was on the same team as Valentine last year. Valentine's out, but or no, he's still in there. Is he still there? No, Valentine's out. Queen is screaming. Screaming Queen. Come on, Bret. Ooh. I mean, at this time, Savage was higher up on the card than Bret. So if anybody's got to pin Bret here, I'm hoping that it's Savage and not, oh, he's going to tag. Son of a bitch. I don't want Earthquake to pin Brett or Dino. It hurts. If Dino pins him, I lose 2 years of my life. Oh, another bear hug. We got a bear hug in the last match. Bear hugs are a good chance for me to go grab another cold beverage. If it ends up 3-on-1, he'll run. Oh, Jesse. Jesse always loved to throw shade at Duggan. He was so cruel. I even remember on Superstars back in like 87 or 88, Jesse called him the R word on television. Accused him of being mentally handicapped in the most offensive way possible. Unbelievable. Yeah, Brett. Fuck you, Earthquake. Fuck you, new guy. You're not pinning Brett. I love they only called him the Canadian Earthquake for like the first little bit. Then they're like, that's stupid. Let's just call him the Earthquake. Because when you think about it, like earthquakes, I'm sure exist in Canada. I'm sure, especially way up on the West Coast side. But you don't think of earthquakes and Canadians being synonymous. It's not like Miami hurricanes, you know? So Canadian earthquake was a little silly. It could be like Canadian snowstorm. Okay, then that makes a little sense. But Canadian earthquake, Californian earthquake would make sense. I'm sure there's gnarly earthquakes up in the Northwest, but Bravo, please. Yes. Brett's still holding his own. All right. If Brett loses, I just want it to be to Savage. I want Savage to beat him up. Brett's trying to get to Duggan. And he made it. Oh, shit. I'm trying to think how many Elimination Survivor Series matches Brett has been in. He's only won one of them, I believe. 93. His team lost in 87. He was eliminated in 87. He was eliminated in 88. He's going to be eliminated here. He'd be eliminated the next year, being the last one in the ring against the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, on the same day his brother Dean died. I don't know what happened in 91. I think he lost that too. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, he did. I don't know what the fuck happened in 91. He was probably Intercontinental Champion. He was. So I don't know what the hell went on in 91. Shoulder breaker. We saw him wrestle Shawn last week for 92. And then 93 was when he had the brothers. That's when they began Owens. Oh, God, here we go. Elbow drop. I kind of hope he hits it. Good. Hey, if you got to lose in a respectable way. And there ain't no shame in losing to a Savage top rope elbow on a pay-per-view. None whatsoever. If Brett's got to take a loss, see, I think only 6 months of me died. Not a full year, because this one was way easier. And you get the bonus of Sherry and Jimmy celebrating together. So that's kind of a win-lose situation is what I like to call that. Duggan's by himself now. He was with Piper and Bulldog. Did that team win? Who did they fucking face? So Piper and Bulldog, 1991. Piper was still wrestling in 91? Oh, yeah, I guess he was. Yeah. Piper, Bulldog, Brett. I'm trying to think who they wrestled. Well, was it the team with the $1 Million Man and Flair? That might have been what it is. Duggan is trying here. He's 3-on-1. Everybody's in the ring, by the way. Duggan backdrop, clothesline to Savage. Oh God. He's ramming them all. Wow, look at Chicago, the building, the camera's shaking. Yeah, he didn't eliminate any, but he's fighting hard here. Either way, I think the fans are gonna appreciate the effort from Hacksaw. I don't know if he eliminates anybody or if he goes down here. I don't know what happens. Mountie, Flair, DiBiase, Warlord. Thank you. Still don't know if they won or not. Piper, Brett, Bulldog, and Virgil against Flair, DiBiase, Warlord, and Mountie. I feel like the heels would win there since Flair just came in. Ooh. Yeah, Brett suffered a lot of early losses at Survivor Series, then had a little 2-year streak in 92 and 93 where he did really good, lost the title at 94, won it back at 95, and lost it again at 97, but returned at 96. He's had equal good, equal bad. Big elbow. Duggan still kicking out. Who'd he tag? Dino Bravo. I thought he tagged Savage. Boom. Double axe. Oh, he misses. Up, Sherry. Oh, Sherry pulled him out. I'm surprised Sherry even felt the need to do that. No, now they're gonna. Is it just gonna be a count out? They might just protect Duggan here. They might just. Oh, now he wants him to count. And look how fast Davis is counting. You know it's gonna be a count out. Okay, that's gonna be the finish then. There's gonna be no run in the ring, I don't think, here from Duggan. And that's it. Pretty big win there for Macho's crew. Up, here comes Duggan. And he's got Bravo. Oh, Savage, look out. Oh, he's got Savage too over the top rope. Now he's got the equalizer and the baby, and the heels are running away. And I know this is going to drive Jesse nuts, and that's why I love it.
Keep me posted.
Keep me. There's a padlock on it.
Gotta believe that Dusty Rhodes will be dishing out Americana, his kind of justice, when he meets the big boss man. Let's go back to the arena.
Okay, so a quick little update on Dusty Rhodes. Very weird trainer's room there with a padlock on the outside of it, meaning you can lock them in. I don't know what sense that makes. And Jesse said, or I'm sorry, Mean Gene said Dusty will be delivering Americana pretty soon. He'll be fine.
Thanksgiving evening 1989. I give thanks to all the multitude who envied me this moment for the beauty, youth, and wisdom I combine.
I don't understand the cap and gown. Are you really a genius if you're graduating in your upper 30s? How long did it take you to finish school, bro? Like, if a real gimmick of a genius should wear a cap and gown when he's 8, not 38. Stupid ass logic. And how come he's not coming out to Macho Man's music? Oh, this is not the main event. I kind of forgot. Warrior is going on last. This should be the end of Zeus. Zeus came in the summer, did all the... Oh, no, there's one more match. Super tape. I think I have it. Big cage match, blue bar cage. Zeus and Savage against Hogan and Beefcake. But Zeus has been picked up here by DiBiase, I guess, is trying to hire his services. The Hulkamaniacs, here they come. Starting with Jake. They're all going to get their own entrances here because they all have music. Big match for Jake to be in. That fucking snake is so big. Are they okay just being in a bag like that? Isn't that claustrophobic for them? Oh, I love this team. God, those belts look so good on them. And here comes the Smasher. They were so great. I love Demolition, man. Heel and face Demolition. I actually was a fan of both as a kid. Like, they were definitely designed to be WWE's version of the Road Warriors. But I think they largely avoided a lot of that clone chatter by kind of being their own team, you know? Hogan, I didn't like this 89 haircut he had. It looked super weird. It's a little short in the back. He looked like Ishmael from Kingpin, Randy Quaid, you know what I mean? Something like that. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the short hair look for a guy that already didn't have a whole lot of hair to begin with just looked weird to me. You know what I don't have on the TV? I don't know what the Sunday night game is. By the way, thank you, Zach. Hope your guys are having a great Sunday too. I didn't even turn any football on today. Or tonight, I mean. Normally we have the game on and I'm eyeballing it, but I didn't even think to turn it on tonight. The snake is out of the bag. He can breathe. 20 feet of Damien. Oh, it's like, keep that thing away from me, motherfucker. I don't think any of the wrestlers really like being near that thing. Axe is keeping his distance. Earl wants nothing to do with it. Why is Jake smacking it? Stop smacking it. You don't want to give the snake a brainerism. Shout out to Mark Henry. Turn on the Buffalo Sabres game. What's Buffalo Sabres? Is that their WNBA team? What's that? I'm kidding. It's hockey. I've been to Buffalo a time or two. Don't love it, but I've been there. Are you sure it's Buffalo Sabres, though? I thought it was Buick LeSabres. What are we talking about here? Broncos, Vikings. Oh, yeah, I am not missing anything. The Vikings. The Lions looking way down at them from up at the top of the division. Hey, guys, how's it going down there? Got enough to eat? Need a book to read or something? Hogan's already had a part of Zeus. He's already beat him. Beat him and beat him. I want you, Hogan. He never did a No Holds Barred Part 2. One hold barred. Your buddy had a Buick LeSabre stolen? Well, of course. I mean, if you've got a Buick LeSabre just sitting there on the street, I don't know about you. If I pass by one, I'm stealing it. It's top-notch transportation right there. It did nothing. They're still trying to sell Zeus, you know? Like, he's already been exposed by now. This has been months of this. He lost at SummerSlam. He's looked human a couple of times against Hogan. He's probably going to get pinned here. It's a Zeus belt. Intricate. Yeah, that he does have a big steel plate right in the middle of his waist. I saw No Holds Barred in the theater, in the movie theater. I think it was $4 to see it. Saw it during the day. A matinee. My mom dropped us off at the movie theater and went in and watched it. 8 Skittles. Slam Zeus. I love that the fans get like, Zeus is a giant man, don't get me wrong, but he ain't Andre. He's not Earthquake. Like, picking up Zeus and slamming him. A wrestling fan in 1989 would fully believe that that's within Hogan's capabilities. It's not that shocking. Oh, here we go. That neck snap move kind of freaked me out as a kid, too. Because if, like, you're a Navy SEAL or something, you do that move, you will kill the person. He just pushed Earl, I think. Oh, you know what? I think I know what happens here. I think Zeus gets disqualified. Is Earl gonna... Yeah, Earl's gonna... Look at Earl, the sleeper hold. I remember talking about this in the review. Oh, that's it. You're gone. You're DQ'd. That's it. Ding, ding, bitch. I love that Jesse's like, Hogan should thank that referee for saving him. Oh, you mean the very same referee that fucked him out of his championship in 1988 with the twin referee job? Look at DiBiase. Like, I just love that he just goes like this and the net controls. Do you have to pantomime money? Can't you just say in Zeus's ear, hey, I'll pay you like 100 G's if you just let go of him? Is this necessary? And DiBiase back at it again. Probably exactly 2 years earlier, DiBiase tried to buy the belt. And that's what set in motion Andre beating Hogan for the title on NBC. In front of 5.8 billion people worldwide. I think that was the rating, 5.8 billion. I think that's what they got. Might have been 4 billion. I don't remember. Yeah, exactly, the Juliet. I mean, Earl is in there with Hogan and DiBiase. You know, he was the focal point of that whole ploy to get the belt off of Hogan, and now they just pretend it never happened. Just like Danny Davis, they never, ever acknowledged that Danny Davis was a suspended referee who turned wrestler. And he was suspended for life by Jack Tunney. And I tried to look up the definition of suspended for life, and from what I could gather from it, it means that if you're suspended for life, that means you're suspended, you know, for life. But he's in the ring. So I have questions. I love Axe's just smashes, no pun intended. Only Demolition can be so tough wearing glitter. Axe is covered in glitter. He's got a Taylor Swift concert he's got to go to after the show. And after all, it is 1989. I think there might be a connection there. Is Axe a Swiftie? Yeah, I haven't said much about Shane. He's out there. He's been the outside referee, I think, for all of these matches so far. Yeah, and Demolition, they're wearing dominatrix outfits. They probably have a safe word and everything. Oh, it was life plus 10 years? I don't even remember that. See? So if my math is correct, that is not up yet. And he should still be suspended for life. Once he dies, I know that's morbid to think about. We need to mark that date, and then 10 years after that, we can let Danny Davis know that he's free to go back to wrestling. You don't just undo a Jack Tunney ruling. Jack Tunney tells you something. That's the way it has to be. Axe, you have very hairy legs. Thank you for sharing that with us. I got a chance to meet the Powers of Pain a few months back at WrestleMania, WrestleCon. They were awesome. Insisted that I call them by their real names, or at least Warlord was. He was an extremely regular guy, which I thought was kind of cool. Hogan, that wedgie, man, let's do something about that. There's a letter in your mailbox. Let's clear it out. Oh, who got him? Who got him? Fooge the Stooge. Oh, and Powers of Pain get a victory over the Demels. Come here. I wish Demolition, I don't think they were at WrestleCon this year. Because I feel like if they were there, I would have wanted to meet them. I don't remember seeing them. If they were there and I just elected not to or passed them up, I'm an idiot. I'm pretty sure they weren't there, but that's cool. You met them both. No, it isn't. Jesse says that was the first time the Warlord's ever been slammed. Warlord is big, but let's not be stupid. He's not Uncle Elmer. He's just Warlord. It is possible to slam him. Victor, we haven't seen Fuji interfering in the match with Shane. Well, he just did grab Axe's leg. He caused that pinfall a minute ago. So Fuji just did interfere, but I think he's minding his P's and Q's out there because Fuji knows if he gets too much out of line, Shane O'Mac will smack him down. And Fuji doesn't want any of that heat. So he's probably behaving himself. I mean, your best friend and I almost bought those so we could look like Demolition for Halloween. Yeah, I think if you went out in public wearing that, unless you happen to look exactly like Axe and Smash, like you have the same body style and look, people might get it. I think what's key is wearing the belt. If you just dress up like Demolition when they're not champions, you're going to get some eyeballs. But if you put a championship belt on, then I think people will just understand that that's a really freaky looking wrestling gimmick. That's all. You guys aren't trying to sexually molest Bruce Willis and Ving Rhames in your basement. I didn't realize how long Barbarian's tassels were. Last night, one of the reasons I missed Full Gear is I worked this super lavish private event at this mega rich person's house. Multi-billionaire type of person. This house was just insane. And what we were doing in there was just a little different than I would do in my normally job. So I kind of had a rag with me and I didn't have anything else with me, like no apron, nothing like that. It was just a different type of thing. So I was sticking the black rag in my pocket and kind of secured it in there, just like you would if you were like being a server or a bartender somewhere. But as I was running around so fast around this big house, I reminded myself of Finn Balor wearing the little rags or a Jeff Hardy or any other wrestler that does that, or football players on the field. Is that going to be it? Nope. He tagged. Clothesline, DiBiase on the top rope, but he blind tagged Barbarian. Wow, so Warlord pinned Axe, Barbarian pinned Smash. Yeah, he didn't see the tag. So we have Hogan and Jake in there. Oh, that would be great. Imagine if Jake turned on Hogan. DDT'd him. I remember as a kid watching a really kind of intense snake pit between those guys when Jake was a heel. It looked like they were kicking off a feud. But I don't know if we ever got any matches out of that. Look at you just doing this. It's all about the money. Like last night, like when I'm at work, just sitting there doing nothing, and I'm not. And then the person who's paying me comes up and goes like that. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, but back to work. It's like, is that the trigger? If I was DiBiase, I'd probably try to keep this shit off the books, or or do a lot. Well, he does a lot of cash payments. We already know that, but I'm not sure how legal it would be to pay somebody to help you win. You couldn't do that in any other sport. I don't remember if Hogan has to come all the way back. Do they actually get rid of Jake here and then Hogan's by himself? There's no way Hogan's losing this, so we know he's going to win. I just don't. Not sure how Hogan is going to look. He's going to beat all these guys, or if he's going to get a little bit of help from Jake. I feel like we need a quick DDT on someone. He spat at him. What a disgrace. One of my favorite WrestleMania matches is the one that Jake and DiBiase would have at WrestleMania 6. That was so good. I think it was a DQ finish, which was a little lame, or count out, which was a little lame, but the match was really good. I liked it. Kind of wish Jake would have won it. But I mean, if they were going to let Virgil win the $1 million belt anyway, like a year later, why didn't they just let Jake do it at WrestleMania 6 right there in Skydome? Mary Tyler Moore, front row. What a moment. He was super over at the time. $1 Million Man could have won it back. No big deal. They should have done it. I can hear Elizabeth downstairs making her smoothie. She takes a big smoothie to work. She makes these crazy health. She's so nuts. She's got all this shit down there, and she puts these big shakes together every night, and it rattles the whole house. The kitchen's pretty far away too, and I can feel the vibration. Headbutt. Is he going to take out Jake here? I kind of hope Jake survives to give Hogan a little help. He missed. He missed. Tag is made. Hogan's going to quickly take out somebody here, I would feel like. Where are you going? What's Hogan trying to do there? Hit him with the leg drop. Nope. Is Hogan going to rake his eyes with his foot? Nope, he's not. Hogan would do a thing sometimes where he'd hit you with 3 quick elbows, stand up, put his foot on your head, and just rake your eyes. Hogan with a suplex. Look at him. He's wrestling. What else you got, Hulk? Poison Rana? Stumbling to the wrong corner. Double clothesline coming up. Boom. DiBiase getting the riot act read to him by Shane O'Mako. What are they going for? A spiky? Spike pile driver? This is the Brainbusters move. Are they going to hit it? Wow! They hit it. They hit it, and they hit it good. You can get disqualified for that? For a spike pile driver? Well, I guess if you're not the legal men. That is kind of bullshit, to be honest. But no, now DiBiase's getting there all by himself, and he's going to have to. Oh, I forgot Jake is still there, so now the pendulum has swung, so to speak. It's 2-on-1, favor baby faces, and one of those baby faces is an impervious to pain superhero. So yeah, DiBiase, you're kind of fucked in this situation. Hogan shaking. Down to one knee. This could be it. Hogan could fall asleep in the $1 million dream. Oh, Juliet, there's a snake pit with Hogan that exists because I remember watching it when I was a kid. It was on TV. I remember even what Hogan said at the end. He said something like, I won't be a bird you can strike or something like that, and kind of walked away. And I don't think it was really kicking off a feud, but it was a cool interaction between the two of them. It made me hope that there could be future matches. So maybe that snake pit is a different one. But there is a snake pit with Hogan that did air because I remember it. Oh, come on. You got to get over there. This kind of is a Survivor Series 89 screw job. I do kind of think Hogan got a freebie there. I don't think both members of the Powers of Pain in a different scenario or match would have been disqualified in that situation. I think it was excessive. I mean, I guess the feeling was that DiBiase was the legal man. So maybe, but if DiBiase wasn't the legal man and one of those guys were, then just one of them should have been DQ, not both. But I don't know. I feel like DiBiase might catch a quick win here over Jake so Hogan can get the celebration in the ring alone. Is that what I'm thinking here? Jake ain't much of a poser, you know? Unless you're Canadian, you don't like him, then maybe he's a poser. But he's not really the guy that's going to be doing the Hogan thing at the end of the match. So he's probably going to take a L here. Let's see if I'm right. A little short. Oh, here comes Virgil. Yep. So this is going to be your distraction. What happened to Virgil's arm there? He might be injured. So Jake's going to go after Virgil, and then what? DiBiase's going to roll him up and beat him, leaving Hogan. Uh-oh. I think DiBiase's going to nail him here when he comes up. Oh! That's going to be it? Oh. And the leverage, the extra leverage on the ropes. Hogan has been motionless for 5 minutes, says Jesse, so we'll see if DiBiase can capitalize on the damage he did with his $1 million dream earlier. DiBiase just shoves him out of the ring. Fuck out of here, Virgil. Some weird pain in my neck right here. Oh, is that a different bag they have for that? It's like white. I loved the DDT, especially Jake's version of the DDT. Didn't really agree with his comments though. You know, I think he's speaking from the perspective of a very old school mentality. And the DDT being protected all the way through 2023 as a legit finisher. I don't know, with all the shit that wrestlers do now, the things we see people kicking out of, the evolution of the business has moved so beyond that. I mean, I agree the DDT should always be viewed as a devastating hold, but you know, the pile driver used to be like that. I wouldn't mind the DDT being, you know, viewed at least in pile driver status. But there's so many, you know, mini drivers now and package pile drivers and all these things that people are kicking out of. I just don't think it's really accurate to it. Not want to say accurate, but I just don't really think that it's beneficial to think that way in 2023. You know, if people were kicking out of this thing, you know, left and right, and we've been seeing the DDT used as common as it is, and let's say the year right now is like 1993 or something, then okay, there might be a fair argument to be had there, but it's 2023. It's not the way it is anymore. And believing things should be the way they are psychology-wise, the way it was in the 80s, just isn't applicable today. Some guys can't get out of that mentality. Bully Ray says a lot of shit too that makes me think, I'm like, bro, you got to know what year you're in, you know? And they speak in such a condescending, smug tone half the time. And I'm like, yeah, you did this for a lot of years, and you know, you're a pro. You've been in the ring, not me, but fucking come on. Anybody can observe and see what's going on. And when you look at the product now of any wrestling company compared to how it was 30 years ago, they do not look the same. So they can't be treated the same. Oh. Did he? Okay, yeah, I think DiBiase countered a atomic drop, then belly to back Hogan, which he no-sold. This is probably going to be the end of Teddy. We just went right into the three. There was barely even a Hulk up there. Boom, this is going to be it. He didn't even need to do the He just got right up. He's like, let's just go home. Hogan always had the weirdest covers. They weren't secure. He covered you not like a T, like a cross, like horizontally, but almost like vertically. Put his crotch right in your face. Didn't hook any leg. Barely even put any body weight on you. And was usually getting up from the pinfall before the referee had even finished counting the three. Worst pins in wrestling history, Hulk Hogan. He doesn't get enough criticisms for his shitty pins. Even if he fights for the rights of every man. Still doesn't change the fact that he pins shitty. He barely even hulked up. I think almost like it was like DiBiase wasn't worthy of a full Hulk up. He got like a half Hulk up. Hogan just no-sold a belly to back. He didn't do the finger point and all that, you know? Yeah, Brett never hooked a leg, but Brett never got the 3 count. But I always did wonder why during Brett's sequence, it was just like it was almost just a formality. You know, he knows he's not going to get the pin because Brett never wins on the backbreaker or the middle rope elbow or the Russian leg sweep or anything else where he would go for a pin backbreaker. Anything else that he would go for a pin usually after. Never once has he won a match with one of those. Maybe once if he would have hooked the leg, he would have. But at least Brett went across the body, across the shoulders. A lot of times he would have both hands pressed down on the other arm. So he would cover and hold them down. Hogan doesn't hold shit down. Sure, Brett never hooked a leg, but he had the top half of the body covered. Hogan just drapes himself like he's 69 in the person, and it doesn't look good. Even when he did hook the leg, it looked like shit. He hooked the leg on Andre at WrestleMania 3, but he couldn't even lift the tree stump up. You know, he didn't even get it lifted before the referee was already done counting 3. It just didn't look good. WrestleMania 3 could have benefited from maybe a slower, more dramatic 3 count. Allow Hogan a little bit of time to pull the leg up, you know? And maybe the 1, 2, 3, just so where everybody can count along. All right, they're setting up this big cage match here. I don't know if I have that super tape or not. I might not. I might not have it. 15 foot high around the ring. That's right. That's right. He's been chosen by the scepter. Scepters are stupid. Never liked them. Nice midriff there, Savage. Yeah, Boss Man's one-handed pins were kind of cool. All this here, all these matches that Zeus is in, it's just training, preparation for the eventual showdown with Ice Cube. Didn't do him any good. I like Barber would still wear. I like how he's changed trunks here. Barber used to. He had those in like '86. Those stripy gloves there. Beefer is so energized. I wonder why. Must have just had a Mountain Dew probably before the interview. Yeah, that's just Mountain Dew. There's all that is.
Win this match in this 15-foot high, 15-foot wide steel pepper cage.
15 foot high, 15 foot wide, steel tempered steel cage. It's not 15 feet wide. I think it's 20. I think it's not 15 by 15. It's 15 feet. It's not even 15 feet high. I guess it is if you're measuring from the ground. But it's only about, it's less than that. It's like 7 feet if you're on the mat. Oh no, Sherry. Look at Sherry. Hi, Sherry. You want a beer? This is that whole scene right there could have easily been 1994 WCW. Everybody in this entire segment would be in WCW together at the same time. Just a few years later. There's Brett, Dino Bravo, Terry Taylor's Paul Roma sighting. All right. Oh, yeah, we got the Piper match, too. The Rockers and the Busters. The Busters. Piper and Snuka was something else to me. It was pandemonium, y'all. Okay, so that's right. December 27th. That was a pay-per-view offering, I believe, where you could buy the movie and then watch the match or the whole show. I don't remember what. And then they All right, they're teasing something here with Heenan family dissension. This is just setting up the Tully absence. Here's Sean. These fuckers and their flags. And Ray Rougeau, I'm a Ray Rougeau mark. Not a Ray Rougeau mullet fan. It's time to celebrate Turkey Day the ravishing way. Fabulous, perfect, and ravishing. You can't really beat that. And a fucking genius back there. How many of you hung your senior year tassel in the rearview mirror of your car? I did. But only for 3 months. Mine said 95. The Whackers of Bush, who beat the Rougeaus at WrestleMania 5. 8 o'clock. I have not gone to bed at 8 o'clock at night. Ever. I think I would have had to have been 4. It was the last time I've ever been inside my bed at that hour. Oh, okay, they're having a good old time in there. Piper's like, let me find 3 guys that could be easily kept in a zoo and nobody would think different of it. You're being sneaky. I love that they're just fucking wolves. They're dogs. Here, I can give you more food if you come out here and kill these guys. I kind of want to be on this team. I would like to invade a McDonald's play place with that team. How fun would that be? Getting all in the tubes and the slides and the ball pit. Oh my God. We would tear that place up. That would just be endless fun. Or just go busting into a trampoline park with Rowdy's Roddies. Or with Roddy's Rowdies. Scare the shit out of little kids. Oh my God. That's fun. Oh, these songs. Oh, maybe it could be the same McDonald's as the one that Ken Patera through the thing. Oh man, that poor McDonald's. That'd be a rough day for them. They've dealt with Roddy's Rowdies and Ken Patera in the same day. Fabulous Ragu Brothers. It's happening again, y'all. They're doing it again. we have to listen to the worst possible dubbing of Rick Rude's theme. Bobby Heenan is not there because he's dealing with the dissension in his family, so he's not with Rude. Why don't they own the rights to this music? I don't understand. What is special about Rick Rude's music that they wouldn't be able to use it? It's making no fucking sense. Somebody tweet Triple H and just ask him, bro, are you ribbing Rick Rude because he left WWE, he left the DX and went to WCW after you guys screwed Bret Hart, and this is the way you're paying him back and dishonoring his memory by crapping on his theme song on Peacock? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Hunter's doing. Probably is. Andy Linnell, No Holds Barred is the worst wrestling movie ever made. I don't know. I thought it deserved the Oscar. I cannot believe that Zeus did not win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He was so good. I mean, he was brilliant, you know, just the lengths that he went to capture the character of Zeus. I mean, I shed a tear. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I think it's a travesty to this day that he didn't get an Oscar. I mean, back then, the Academy was never given awards to, you know, larger actors. It always had to be the artsy type of movies, not the action ones. It was a travesty. I think the reason we got, you know, Brad Pitt and George Clooney and, you know, why Meryl Streep, you know, was able to, you know, hit another run in her career was all due to being influenced by the work of Zeus and Tiny Lister and No Holds Barred. He really set the bar for believability in that movie. It was just bonkers to me to see Piper and Snuka. I could not get over that in '89. Happened to me every year. Very first Survivor Series, I was like, are Hogan and Orndorff going to be okay? Because they're on the same side. And then in the earlier match the same night, Savage and Steamboat are on a team. And I thought the same thing. And here we are. Just as bad as Snuka. And Piper and Snuka. I mean, Roddy's got a good strategy just having maniacs with him, but one downfall of that strategy is that trying to manage this as the leader of your team. I feel like it would be easier to communicate with a herd of raccoons than these fuckers. Mr. Perfect and Butch? Jesus. Or no, yeah, it's Luke. I'm sorry. Here's Butch. Butch is biting. Rest in peace, Butch. I heard some of Nigel's commentary on Flair. He comes back as often as herpes, and he's just as welcome. That was a good one. Rude, and then, yeah, Rude was super jacked in 90, Robert. I loved his match with the Warrior at SummerSlam that year. Oh, Jacques, you and your athleticism. Jacques is a big athletic guy. He's big. I don't understand how Dynamite was able to bully him so much. Guess he took his matters into his own hand, so to speak. Oh, there. Look at the agility. Is he going to do the little dance too? Look, he kind of is too. So we got Rene Dupree, Rick Martel, and Jacques, all Montreal, all like to do a little prance move. What's that about? I move there. Do I have to learn to do that? I'll start watching some tutorials, I guess, just in case. You never know. I mean, I want to be prepared and to be able to know the culture before I go there, just out of respect, you know. If I need to learn to dance like that, I will. Oh. All right, Mountie, cool your jets here. If you're going to prance about. If you're going to prance about the ring, you better pay attention. Oh, sometimes I like Snuka. Oh, and he's shaking it. Shout out to Freddie Sparta, our referee for this one. Shane McMahon, still on the outside of the ring, just been stationed there the whole night. I hope he's got a bathroom break and maybe a Capri Sun or something. Otherwise, it's a long night for Shane O'Mac. This is what's called paying your dues here, Shane. Daddy's going to stick you out of ringside for 4 hours. Enjoy. Oh, this is going to be nice looking. Look at this. The Superfly splash. I'm telling you, before Hogan, Superfly was crazy over. We used to talk about him at school. I remember being in the first grade and everybody was talking about Superfly. And Hogan wasn't even there yet. Like, he was the biggest babyface they had. Had Hogan not come in and Snuka never became a murderous piece of shit, who knows? Would make a good what if segment or what if video. Oh, and there goes Perfect at the hands of Rude. Both Rougeaus and Cousin Luke, I believe, are our only living participants here. Roddy, Perfect, Rude, Snuka, Butch, all passed away. Shane's the ref on the outside of the ring, Mike. I'm not sure if Shane ever wrestled, or I don't remember seeing Shane ref in the ring. Every time I ever saw him in a referee capacity is on the outside of the ring at a Survivor Series or a Rumble. And after that, he would kind of be like one of the suits, like when the agents ran out there, like Gurria and Goulet and Lanza and Patterson, all those guys. Shane would be there. But I don't think he ever refed in the ring. Tag made to Butch. Tommy drop. Perfect was on the rise. He would be just a little ways off from winning the IC title. A few more months. Nope. Future endeavor. Yeah, I imagine there's probably a few Rumbles where you got half or better of the field up in the big ring in heaven. I wonder if there is like a wrestling afterlife, if they're up there having their own WrestleManias. I'm like, we got a hell of a lot of talent up here. We could put together our own WrestleMania card. We got just as many main eventers up here as they got down there. Okay, we just lost one of the Ragus. Or the other Ragu, excuse me. So thought the heels won this, but the baby faces are off to a good start here. Ooh, wow. What a little twisting move there. Feels like that could be life-threatening if done right. Don't be a hero. Come on, Roddy. Piper and Rude had quite the hot feud in the summer, too. All that shit they were doing on primetime wrestling and stuff, that was good. I liked it as a kid. Tag made to Booch. Butch nearly got Hennig there. Another pin attempt here. Mm-hmm. What a tough guy. Ooh, Hennig was going for a Judas effect type of thing there. Here it comes, pipes. He is. We get any Piper and Kurt Hennig matches in WCW? We probably did, right? Some Nitro ones? I'm sure of it. I don't recall them having a feud ever, though. Piper with a big right hand and Hennig with his 360 cells that he loved to do. Finally, we got a pin on Butch. Piper's going to try to end. Nope. I don't know if if Perfect and Rude both survive here or just one. I know the heels win this. They're a much stronger team. Snuka was always in ridiculous shape. Totally natural, I'm sure. Ooh. Rude's up. Hmm. God. Ooh. Oh, yeah, nice. Rude awakening to Luke. There we go. So the Bushies are out, and it's now basically a tag team match. Piper and Snuka against Hennig and Rude. This is actually kind of a cool match. If they would have put this on a Coliseum video or something, I'd have been into this. This would have been a great Madison Square Garden match. God, Hennig, I can just see your whole name and address there. Jesus, man. Fix your boner or whatever's happening there. Fix it. Feel like it's smiling at me. Thumbs up on this video if you want Mr. Perfect to fix his boner. Snuka. So he's got Snuka, Chico Santana. What else does Jesse have? Jimmy Snuka, Chico Santana. Got him choked there. Oh, big drop kick on Snuka. Barry, don't give Mr. Perfect any ideas. Because you would think that if he has the perfect record, the perfect career, the perfect looks, the perfect physique, he probably has the perfect boner. Too big of words for Superfly, Jesse. He only knows it and God. Jesse was relentless when he got the idea in his head that that a babyface was a stupid, illiterate idiot. He just harped on that like there was no tomorrow. I'm like, Snuka dressed himself here. He's dressed himself. He got himself to the building. He remembered to eat and take a shit today. Like he's not a zoo animal. All right, well, this match is going to go on. I'm going to go grab one more coldie. All right. They've got Snuka isolated here. I feel like they're going to put Snuka away. I kind of hope Rude and Perfect both survive here, but I don't really remember. Good to see Leo Whalen popping in. What's up, man? You missed a pretty fun Survivor Series 89. We are into the semi-main event here. We have the final match coming up next. About 30 minutes left in the show, it looks to be. Leo, I liked the look of the United Center better. I thought United Center just looks like a nicer arena. It's bigger. It looks nice when it's lit up. But Rosemont Horizon has been the home to some pretty classic WWE moments and matches spanning lots of decades. So this building has enough history where I'll give the fact that it doesn't look very great and it's not very big, I'll give that a pass because it's always been a hot environment and we've seen great things there. But the United Center looks so much better. But WWE never ran there again. This was always their building. They never went to United Center aside from SummerSlam that one year. But I always thought United Center had like a Staples Center look to it. Like it's big and just for a basketball arena that's not like a football stadium looks pretty awesome. I'm ready for WWE to run an event at that Sphere in Las Vegas. I will be there for that. I want to go to Las Vegas. I'm ready to go there again, just so I can see the Sphere and see all these videos I'm seeing to see how that looks to the naked eye. So next wrestling show up there, I'm going to try to go. Piper and Rude. Here we go. Yes, Andy. Live reaction to this Saturday's Survivor Series. Link is up. We're going to be watching that together. Thought I'd do a live reaction for this pay-per-view. Hadn't done that in a while. Plus, I missed Full Gear last night. So, and 1 week from tonight, I'm not going to be home for a classic watch-along. Oh, we're going to get a double count out here. Oh, it might be Perfect who survives. Yep, that's what they're going to do. Piper and Rude are going to, okay, that's what they're doing. All right, so this is going to be a double count out. Perfect is going to beat Snuka and be the sole survivor. Okay, I gotcha. But yeah, 1 week from tonight, we're not going to be here for a classic watch along. So I thought on Saturday, we'll do a watch along and recap of Survivor Series because I'm expecting a title change. I think Damian Priest is going to win the title. There they go. Shane being a part of that. Get back there, guys. He didn't do his homework all right. Down him. Boom. Nailed him with it. Nope. Oh, yeah, Daniel, you just know on May the 4th, the Death Star will be on the Sphere. Oh, was it not open this past May yet? Surprised they didn't already do that. Nope. Match is going on way too long. We know Perfect's winning. Up, all the way over. Oh, my God. I was hoping that was the finish. He's probably going to win with the perfect plex. Right here. Boom. There it is. Ball game, babies. That Mr. Perfect. I love that they made him the sole survivor. A genius. Oh, a double noggin knocker? That's not very sportsmanlike. Andre the Giant and Princess Bride would not approve. It's not very sportsmanlike. Oh, he's going to hit Lanny with the splash. I love it. Unless Perfect pulls him out of there. He might. He is. He's going to pull him out. The genius escapes. I didn't like that pairing, actually, of Genius and Perfect. I was much happier when he went with Bobby Heenan. Made a lot more sense. Yeah, beat with a fisherman. What a poor sport. Boom. All right, main event time. All right, we got Mooney with the winning team here. All these fuckers got eliminated. Perfect's the only winner here. Where's Bobby Heenan? Mr. Perfect, where's your future manager? Oh, they didn't. They didn't give us any trouble. Yeah, thanks, Andy. I just feel like you need a stage where, that can kind of be the focus. No Roman on the show. Rhea and Gunther have nights off. My God, they're not going to drop their titles. There's nothing else major going on, especially if we see like Randy Orton or something come back tomorrow night on Raw, and that happens before Survivor Series. Like everything can be about that moment, and it will be the main event. It will close the show. That would be great. Look at these. Look at this team. It's Warrior doing the beard on Anvil. Oh my God. Look at this team. Can't believe they had Brett and Jim split up at this time when they were never really serious about a singles run for either of them yet. Sean. To me, this was Shawn Michaels' main event here. Each one has an organ donor card. Shawn Michaels main evented Survivor Series in 89, 92, 96, 97. So 4 out of his first 8 years in the company. Not bad. Yo, Barry. What's up, my friend? Appreciate the $5. The Hawaiian 5. They put Zeus in this year's WWE video game, and it was so random. Who would ever play as him? Me. I would, Barry. No, I wouldn't play as Zeus. He was terrible. But when you're 12, Zeus felt a little bit less terrible. Here we go. So it's Andre, Hachu, Arn, and Bobby himself. What's Heenan doing in wrestling gear? I love how Gorilla's like, hey, wait a second. Yeah. All right. So that's the excuse they're using. They could have just had Rick Rude come out for double duty, or any other Heenan family member, but Bobby is doing it himself. Let's see how early they get Arn Anderson out of here, because this should be the end of him in the company. If I had to guess, the Rockers are going to be the ones to eliminate him. 2 speedsters. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, we're going at it here. Zombie Fighter 89. You just came back from a WWE live event in Saginaw. It was great. Fun story. I met Zombie Fighter in Saginaw a few years back when I was there for my father's funeral. We met at, where'd we meet? Fridays or something, right? What was crazy is we were in there hanging out, and as we were leaving, I see the pastor that did the service for my dad. He was there. Crazy. That's awesome, man. WWE's been running that Saginaw Arena for decades, man. They had an In Your House there, right? 1 year? That's cool. I hope it was fun. What was the main event? And Andre, during all that TJ Fridays talk, Andre got eliminated right off the bat. This is the same thing that happened to Zeus. So not only is Bobby on the team, they've lost their strongest member. That's not going to be good. Here comes Arn. He's in. Everybody's in. I'll be right back. You think he's got both oars in the water? Seth, Drew, and Shin for the world title. Okay, a little triple threat. Fun. But fucking Andre is still out there stumbling around. What is wrong with you, Andre? That's all I ever heard as a kid. Even when Andre would throw his punches, he would go like, when he'd punch you. It was so funny to me. I'm actually, Robert, I'm actually kind of a fan of Bobby Heenan in the ring. I always thought he was super underrated. Even at this time, Bobby could still do those. He was quick as a fucking cat, man. Watch old videos of Ray Stevens, and you will see a lot of the same stuff. Bobby, obviously, he's kind of a little older here, out of shape. But in terms of him being able to like wrestle a match, he could. He was definitely capable. He just didn't really look it, you know? But he still had agility to him, even though he wasn't really in the ring anymore. And he certainly wasn't in super shape. But I've always praised Bobby Heenan's ring work, to be honest. Thought he sold well. I thought his match at WrestleMania 4 was way worse than his match at WrestleMania 5. His match at WrestleMania 5, I guess, was quick. But when he was in that dog suit, it was pretty ridiculous. Barry, 2 more from you. No, I did not see that. They just put out new Bray Wyatt shirts. That's cool. And Anvil's gone. So Heenan family trying to catch up here after that early Andre elimination. Got counted out right off the bat. 3-2. Did you ever notice that whenever girls tell you a score of something, they always say the lowest number first? What's the score? It's 3-12. Oh. I feel like Haku could just dismantle this whole team by himself. Fast tag in here. These rockers love to do that. I like how Warrior just groans at these fast tags, like he's kind of like overstimulated. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused a little bit. Double chop. Oh, took one down. These guys would be WrestleMania 7 opponents. Rockers beating Haku and Barbarian, I believe. I I love that "This Bud's for You" banner in the background there. That's awesome. When I was a kid, every advertisement was cigarettes and shit. They used to have cigarette vending machines. And I remember my dad would like give me quarters and say he would pull up to like somewhere, business or a restaurant. He said, go in there and get me a pack of Winston's. And I could even go, he would even send me into the gas station to get him cigarettes. I'd be like 8. I put the money on the counter. I'm like, can I have a pack of Winston's, please? And they would give it to me. Here you go, young fella. Enjoy. Fucking crazy time, man. Oof. Very first restaurant I worked in, we had a cigarette vending machine. You put the quarters in, and it's like the thing you pull the handle, you pull it out, and it drops it out. Fucking nuts, man. Imagine that now. I do like that Warrior is dressed up here for his main event debut here. Don't tag me, tag Arn. Maybe it comes down to Warrior and Heenan. That would be super. That might be what happens. I'm kind of vaguely remembering my review from like 3 or 4 years ago. My parents smoked Cools. I remember Cools. Cools with a K. My dad smoked the yellow Winstons. I had a whole bunch of friends in North Carolina who smoked like Marlboro Lights and shit. Stuck up old snobby bitches smoked Virginia Slims. All my black friends smoked Newports. Everybody had their brand, you know? I just never smoked. Don't smoke, kids. It's terrible for you. Bobby in this year too, he was doing the Weasel suit matches. He was doing them with Warrior, I believe. I think that was 89 when all that was happening. So Bobby was kind of in the ring a lot in 89. Or not a lot, but a few times. Here comes Heenan. Heenan and Marty Jannetty. Look at him. He's out like that. Just like that. Love it. Even that popped Jesse. That popped Jesse. It popped me too. That was hilarious. Speaking of Tully, there's a Survivor Series. I think it's the previous year. It has to be because they were only there 2 years. Is that going to be the end of Marty? Nope. And Tully gets tagged in, but I think on the other side of the ring, I think it's like a power of pain. And he just kind of tiptoes. He tiptoes to the other side of the ring and tags somebody very effeminately. It just gives him a little tap and just kind of tiptoes out of the ring. It was the funniest thing. Bobby Heenan just pinned Marty Jannetty. That's awesome. Called using your brain. I think Bobby Heenan should be put in Intercontinental title contention after that win. Let's strap him up. Gotta love Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson and Warrior. I mean, what a mismatch this is. Arn is like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm about to go to WCW, and is this fucking ape gonna hurt me? Ceramic Creations, you smoke Marb Lights and Marb 100s. I was just blessed by fate of the universe. When first time I tried a cigarette, I thought it was disgusting, and I never had a desire to try again. Just never gave a shit. But if I would have kept at it, who knows? It could have, addiction could have set in. But it was so unpleasant that I never even considered doing it again. Just wasn't going to be my vice. He was in Never Never Land. I guess that's true, Jesse. But we all know that no matter how many guys get eliminated, Warrior is going to be just fine. This is the main event of Survivor Series heading into WrestleMania 6. Bobby Heenan ain't going to be the sole survivor here. If he was, then it should be Bobby. Oh, look at him rubbing Arn's head. I'm pretty sure Bret Hart told a story in his Hall of Fame speech. I think about the night after this. They were he talked about where they were at the bar on Arn's last night. So I'm assuming that's in a few hours from now after this match is what Bret was referencing, I think. Oh, launching Shawn. This is a cool tag team, Warrior and Shawn. They would have a brief alliance in '96 too before Warrior would start no-showing house shows. Robert, they were there, what, the Brainbusters? They're exactly 1 year. They were there longer than a year because they wrestled at, weren't they there? Weren't they wrestling at SummerSlam 88? Maybe not. You might be right. And there he's got it. Yeah, it felt like they were there a year, but it spanned 2 Survivor Series. That's probably what it is. Yeah, it's a shame that Tully and Arn didn't spend more time there, you know? Freebirds, Horsemen, and like the Rock and Rolls and Midnight. Some of them passed through, but none of them developed any WWE legacies really at all. Except for the Busters, who did win the titles, but they're kind of largely forgotten, you know? Oh, look at Bobby. What's he doing? No way. No way. Bobby Heenan is not going to top rope dive Shawn. I cannot believe Bret or Shawn Michaels is actually in a match opposite Bobby Heenan. That's kind of trippy to me. Sunset by Shawn. Arn trying to hang on. I feel like Arn's got to beat Shawn, right? Oh, now Arn. Oh, maybe this is what sets up Arn's departure too here, you know? Oh, Leo Whalen. I have an answer for you. See what Bobby and look at Bobby and Shawn. This is crazy to me. Bobby the Brain Heenan versus Shawn Michaels. Is Arn going to get rid of Shawn here? I feel like he's going to spine buster him here. Nope. All right, while both guys are down, Leo Whalen, appreciate that $5, man. What was your favorite event from an aesthetic point? I'm guessing you'll say WrestleMania 3. You would guess correctly. If so, what is your second? You loved how Bad Blood 97 looked. Off the top of my head, I could probably think of better. Like, there's some modern WrestleManias that are just gorgeous. But, like, if you exclude those, I might say, like, SummerSlam 94. I like that. I also liked, let me think. I did like WrestleMania 6. I liked SummerSlam 90. Loved that hot Spectrum, Philadelphia Spectrum crowd. Something about that feel and that vibe that I really liked. That's on the list too. Nope. Ooh, there's the spiny. Is that going to be it? So the last person Arn Anderson ever pinned in WWE was Shawn Michaels. That's interesting. Never thought about that before. It's funny you say that, Serum Creations, because Warrior no-showed a house show that I went to. And I got backstage at that house show, and who replaced Warrior that night wasn't Ahmed Johnson, it was Sid. And this was before they announced Sid back on TV. This happened on Saturday night in Detroit, then they announced Sid's return on Monday. So Sid showed up at my house show to face Owen Hart in the same match that Warrior was supposed to be at. And they had signs all over the arena that the Ultimate Warrior wasn't going to be appearing. And that's crazy. So you must have been in the same part of the country as me, because they were running the house shows up there that weekend. So mine was at the Joe Louis Arena. And that was in June or July of 96, whatever that was. Right, the weekend before International Incident is when I was there. And then the following week on Monday is when they announced Warrior suspension and did the deal where Sid and Ahmed, or Sean and Ahmed, revealed Sid. Fun times, man. Starcade 88 from Victor. Sure. I should look at that card. Could maybe do that next month. Try to squeeze it in. So we got this handicap match here, by the way. Ultimate Warrior is the only man left on his team against Arn and Bobby Heenan, but I think this is going to be pretty easy pickings for Warrior. The previous year at Survivor Series, it was a 2-on-1 finish as well, with him beating like Valentine and somebody else, Ron Bass maybe. Yeah, Dusty already had his polka dots out here tonight. He opened up the show by saying he's thankful for his polka dots. Oh, there we go. Heenan goes down. Arn's going to get the press slam and the splash. That's going to leave Heenan. Poor Bobby in there all by himself. And in a moment, we'll be out. That is true. What are you going to do, Bobby? Does Bobby actually get in there and take this ass kicking, or does he hightail it out of here? Poor Weasel. What's up, Mike? Yes, I believe Randy Orton is going to come back tomorrow, although I have not watched all of SmackDown yet, so I don't know. I know Becky's going to be there for the women, but I know Cody was talking to Nick Aldis, so I don't know what that means. But I talked in the podcast over the weekend that it felt like that Randy Orton was going to be the reveal. We'll be up here tomorrow night after Raw to talk about it. Warriors is waiting for the right opportunity. Bobby, did you forget you were in a match, or why are you surprised to see him? Oh. Oh, poor Weasel's just going to get eaten up here. Well, they've probably run this sequence a bunch of times on the live event loop when we see. Look at that. See what I'm talking about? That move. Ray Stevens could do that too. So could Pat Patterson. Warriors like, I don't think so, son. Flair and Luger. Victor, thank you for the $2. Yeah, that's our main event for Starcade 88. I have that on VHS. We can watch the VHS version. It's worth some money, too, apparently. Kind of rare. Oh, wow. Wow. Bobby just got turned inside out. Sideways splash. That's going to be it. And Warrior gets the win. Zombie Fighter, 5 from you. Thanks for the shout out. Match of the night was Chad Gable versus Gunther. Wow. It was nice to see without a million commercial breaks, I bet. I'm still holding out hope for Gable that he's going to be the one to beat Gunther for the title. I feel like he is. I would do it at the Rumble. Mike, I think the Punk chants will get a few, but I don't think they're going to take the show over. I don't think there's a reason to. WWE's doing good business. Survivor Series should be a good show. There should be no reason to sabotage it. So while you might hear a few Punk chants, I don't think they're going to dominate. Poor Bobby, and Bobby's got to be in the aisleway. We'll see you all at No Holds Barred. And they're signing us off. All right, I guess that's a wrap on Survivor Series. Oh, now we get a little still frame montage of the show, but we don't even have to watch through that. We already saw it. Well, that was fun. Survivor Series 89. That turned out to be way more fun than I thought. So we will pick things back up with another Survivor Series watch along 2 weeks from tonight, which will then be December. Don't forget, a lot going on the channel this week. Tomorrow night after Raw, we'll be here for a big podcast. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on Full Gear. And we'll talk about tomorrow night's Raw, go home to Survivor Series. Big night for McIntyre since he turned heel last week. Possible return of Randy Orton. We could see that. So we'll be here for the podcast. Then we're going to be up here on Friday, I believe, for predictions for Survivor Series, but that link is not up yet. But Saturday's Survivor Series watch-along link is up. So that's already here as well. Join us this Saturday. We're going to watch Survivor Series together. So that's what's on tap for this week. Thank you so much for being here. Fun as always on Sunday nights. And appreciate you guys hanging out with me, watching a fun one from way back in 1989 when Good Mic Work was 12 years old. Crazy times. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday night and what's left of your weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow night